Hey everybody, Brooke Sann here. Okay, so today we're talking about commitments. This is a big topic, so turn up the volume, be ready to listen. Please like and subscribe to this video if you've been enjoying these videos so I can continue to make some more. Let's jump right in. So we're gonna talk about what commitments we have. We're gonna talk about why we don't commit. This is a big one. I have so many clients who are afraid to commit. Why don't we do that? The last one is what happens when we do commit. And that's the part I really want you to pay attention to. I want you to turn up the volume and listen because this is big stuff. At the end, I'm gonna give you a little tip of the week for busy mamas. You're gonna love this tip this week. Okay, so let's jump right in. What commitments do we have? Okay, so a lot of us, if you're here in this video, a lot of you are married or considering marriage, right? So we have marriage. We have faith, right? Like a religion that we choose and commit to. We have a career. We make a choice and we commit to a lifelong career, or we commit to a company. We have new habits, right? Like we want to commit to losing weight, or we want to commit to becoming a reader or becoming a writer, or whatever program we want to start. We have all those commitments. We have commitments of giving up something, right? Like if we have an addictive substance that is in our possession on a regular basis, right? We've got coffee, we've got wine and liquor and, alcohol, tobacco products, sugar is mine, coffee, whatever it is, whatever you're trying to give up. We have that commitment to give that thing up. We also have strained relationships, right? Deciding that we're going to work and commit ourselves to working on a relationship, and big purchases, right? We're committing to buying a home. It's a little scary when you sign you're signing your life over to the bank for 20 or 30 years, or a car, or investing in a company, or investing in something big that's a bit risky, and we make that commitment. So those are some of the commitments that we make on a regular basis that we have, and we decide what we want to commit to and what we don't want to commit to. I want to talk briefly about why we don't commit. So this is pretty interesting. There is no disadvantage to committing, right? Like maybe risk, right? But the reason we don't commit is because we are afraid of fear, right? We have that fear of failure. We have that fear of heartbreak, that fear of loss. We have that fear that we don't want to change, right? We don't want to see things change in our lives. What are some other ones? We don't want to commit because we don't trust ourselves. We don't know what it's going to be like in this particular instance when we commit to this thing or this person or this career. So we're scared. And so we just don't commit. We stay in this really what I call gray zone where we're just like, here we are, we're going to work here for a while, or we're going to do this, or we'll try this church. And we're kind of in this gray zone where we're just not committing to anything. And when we don't commit to anything, we're not progressing. We're not challenging ourselves. We're not all in, gung-ho, ready to give it our all. We're just like in this like la la land. It's just like floating, right? It's that part in the ocean where you go out to the waves and then it pushes you back in. Like you don't go beyond that barrier. You don't break through and make progress. You're just kind of stuck here. So we don't believe in ourselves because we don't think that we're enough. We don't commit because we think that if we commit, we're going to see ourselves fail. And that's the thing, is we think that that's what's going to keep us in this safe place. So we're also afraid of committing because we don't want to make the wrong choice. I'm really famous for this. I'll be like, I don't know what to do. I'll just stay in this state of confusion and just never make a choice. And then nothing ever happens. I don't progress. I don't move forward at all. And let's talk about what our brain is doing when we're not committing, right? Our brain hates commitment. You know what commitment means to our lower brain? It means that when we commit to something, we're signing up for something hard, right? Like a marriage, hello, we're signing up for something really hard. Even religion, right? We're gonna have people who question our beliefs, or a career or a company. Our parents are gonna ask, why did you choose that? Or why did you choose that company? There's going to be all of these questions and this uncertainty when we commit. So our brain hates that. It's trying so hard to avoid negative emotion. It's trying so hard to seek pleasure. And with a commitment, you don't know what pleasure is around the corner. And it's also trying to preserve energy. So commitments is you're signing up for a lot of work. So hello, your brain would not want to commit to anything. So the other thing I want to talk about is what happens when we do commit. So we know that we have these commitments, whether we choose them or not. We know that our brain doesn't like to commit because it's that fear of failure, right? It doesn't trust ourselves enough to have our own back, that no matter what happens, whatever we choose, we're going to have our own back and make that the right choice. And the last thing is what happens when we do commit. And this is the thing I'm so passionate about, right? I want to break it into this category, right? We're going to talk what it is that we're committing to. When we commit, what happens? We see what, we change what. Okay, so marriage. This is my favorite topic, as you all know. When we commit to a marriage, I want to think about it as seeing the big picture. Like I love to think big. Like when I was dating my husband now, I was just I was already at the end. Like I was already seeing us retired. I was seeing what our life looked like. I was seeing our family and our posterity. I was seeing how we grew old together and all these wonderful things. Like I could see the end from the beginning. That's what in my mind commitment looks like, is we're kind of going backwards. We're seeing the end. We're seeing what we're working towards. And then we take the steps forward. Okay, so when we commit, we see in a marriage. So when we commit to a marriage, we see the end. All the good things in our life, our love, our connection, our passion. I see all of that. And that changes everything. When I see that my husband and I are still happily married in 50, 60, 70 years, that changes how I treat him today, right? When we can see the end from the beginning, we are committing ourselves that every day I'm going to make him my priority. Every day I'm going to want to love him and kiss him and hug him. Every day I'm going to do something thoughtful for him and think about him and cherish him and our relationship. What about faith? Think about religion. I love talking about religion. So the definition of religion is, answering these three big questions we have in life. Like, where did we come from? Why are we here? What is our purpose? And where are we going after we die? That's what religion in a nutshell kind of answers those questions. So think about for you, maybe it's not religion, maybe it's some sort of spiritual existence or whatever it is. When we commit to this way of looking at life, right? Or maybe it's non-denominational, or maybe you don't believe in God or not Christian, whatever it is. You believe in something, or you believe that we came from primal creatures, whatever it is. When you're seeing the end from the beginning, it changes everything. When you've committed to this way of thinking, then it changes how we act every day. It changes how we interact with people, right? If I believe that I am going to go to heaven one day, right? If I know that that's my end goal and I'm going to live with a Heavenly Father and with God and Jesus, and I'm going to be reunited with my family, it changes how I interact with my family now. It changes how I interact with the people around me, my community, my dogs. It changes how I do things. So when I can see the end from the beginning, when I can see that I am going to die and go to heaven, and this is my personal beliefs, then it directs me. It gives me a clear path, and it changes how I show up every day. That's what commitments do. When we commit to something, we see the end from the beginning, and it changes how we interact every day. We change, right? When we know what we've committed to, we know where we're going. Okay, what about a career or a company, right? So about the age 17, 18, we make these big decisions what we want to do with the rest of our lives. And that's not to say that we're not going to change our mind and have new businesses and new endeavors, but we commit to a career, and then we commit to a company, or we commit to working for somebody. So when we commit to this company, we see ourselves at the end, right? Like for me, my first career being a hairdresser, like I knew I was going to make a lot of people happy. I knew I was going to be successful and get really good at my craft. And I was going to go all in with the people I work with my boss and the girls, my team, my salon team. Like I knew we were going to be close. Like I could see that. And so then when I showed up at work, I knew exactly what I was doing. I knew where I was going. I knew what I wanted. I knew who I wanted to be my clients. I was very focused because I could see the end from the beginning. What about a new habit? When we want to become a reader or we want to lose weight, that's a big one, right? Like when I know I'm gonna be a size whatever, when I can see the end from the beginning, then it changes how I act every day. Even if I eat a big piece of cake or a cookie or whatever, like I know this is part of the process, right? These failures, these mishaps, like this is part of the process. I'm still gonna be this size. I've already seen it. I'm working towards it, so it changes how I treat myself, even if I make a mishap. Like, yeah, okay, so I had a cookie, so what? I'm still gonna be this. I'm still working towards this. Nothing's changed. I've committed to this. It's not something I'm just trying. I'm committing. I am focused on what I'm going to get and how I'm going to get it. What about giving up something, right? We have addictive substances. We have alcohol and tobacco. We have sugar, which is my big, or coffee, or whatever it is that you're trying to give up, right? If we see ourselves as a clean, sober person who is free from these substances, who has changed, it changes how we behave today. If we see ourselves sober, we know where we're going, right? We can see that, yeah, we're gonna have mix-ups. We're gonna enjoy a glass of wine maybe every once in a while, but we're still working towards this. Like this is where we're headed. It's so clear in my mind where we're going because we've committed to giving it up. What about a strained relationship? This one's an interesting. So I'm not talking about a marriage. I'm talking about a parent, a mother, a sister, a brother, an in-law, a coworker. These relationships that are really challenging. So often I see people just totally writing a relationship off. Just they say they're toxic and I'm done with them and I don't want to talk to them anymore and I'm done. What if we committed and we saw ourselves having a cohesive relationship, a respected friendship, a respectful mother-in-law, daughter-in-law relationship? What if we could see that we're going to get to that? We've committed that we're going to work on this relationship and it's going to be good. If we committed to that and we saw the end from the beginning, it changes how we interact with them today. It changes how I think about them. It changes how I talk to them, how I interact with them. If we are always looking at what we've committed to. What about a big purchase, right? We've got our house, right? That we sign our firstborn child over to basically at the bank. And we have 30, 20 years that we're going to be paying on this. Sometimes we're just so afraid, right? That we're going to fail, we're going to mix up. We don't commit to it. But what if we can see the big picture and know that this house, this car, this investment I'm making, like this is going to pay off. Like this, I see myself with a house that's paid for in cash, right? Like it's done, we own it. We see the benefit and the joy, then I'm not stressed out about making the payments, right? Like it's just, yeah, this is just what we do because we've committed to it. We see the end result and we change how we're interacting with even finances, right? All of it. So I want you to really think about why you commit and why you don't. Commitments create change in our lives. We don't want to commit because we don't want to fail. We think that if we commit to something, we are going to fail. Well, yeah, commitments are, right? You're signing up for a lot of work. You're signing up for a lot of failures. What if you knew that you could see the end? What if when you commit to something, you see the big picture? You go all in. You make it everything it can be and more. That's how commitment changes our lives, right? We're going past that ocean, whatever they call that. What is that they call? You go past it, you break free, go past the waves, and you are free sailing wherever you want to go. You can see the horizon. You can see the island in the distance. Your life is so clear. If you look at my life, I know exactly what I want to do. Even this business right here, my coaching business, a new business. Sorry, I lost you for a second. A new business is a huge commitment, but I've already seen myself successful. I've seen myself helping thousands of women. I know I'm going to fail a ton. I already have. But this is what I've signed up for. I can see the end from the beginning. I'm not afraid. I mean, of course, I have failures. I have mistakes. I'm going to fumble and get misled so many times, and it's going to be incredibly uncomfortable. But I've already committed to it. I'm here, and I'm showing up as the best version of myself because I know that's what I want to do. So I hope that you enjoyed this video today. It was great to talk about commitment. I have one last thought before I go. The tip of the week. We have been traveling a ton. We go camping all the time. We go, we went to Florida with the family. My favorite thing ever when you travel with a family is to bring a mesh stand-up laundry hamper. One of these bad boys that unfolds, right? You toss it, it flattens right up, skinny, skinny mini. You toss it in a one of your suitcases. You go to the hotel, you go to someone's house, wherever you are. Everyone throws their dirty clothes in because then the dirty clothes don't get mixed in with the clean clothes. The kids still have a system. They know where to put their clothes. It is the best thing ever. And then you just drag that hamper until you find a good old laundromat. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.